Okay, that was the opening section of Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So another great song to learn when you're first beginning on a guitar. It's got some nice, easy open chords in it, which you're going to use in lots and lots of songs. And it's got a little bit of a picking technique where you're moving your plectrum across the strings, jumping across the strings, which can be a bit of a challenge at first, but with a little bit of practice, it shouldn't take you too long to get the hang of it. First part of this is we're going to be playing the A minor chord, followed by the F chord. Now, for much of this song, we're not going to need to use all of the fingers on the chords. So for the A minor chord, we don't really need this third finger, so we can take it off. We only need to use 2 fingers for that. Okay, so the first finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 4th string up, that's the D string, and then the first finger is going to go on the 1st fret of the 2nd string up, that's the B string. Now to begin with, we don't even need that first finger on that 2nd string, we just lift it up and have it floating over it, ready to go down when the time's right. I'll show you what I mean. So play the open A string first, the 5th one up, the 4th one, the D, down to the B string, the 2nd, and then we put our first finger on that 1st fret, and that'll sound like this. So nice and easy, don't need to worry about that 3rd finger at all. Now from the F chord, we're going to be using the 1st fret on the E string, the 6th string at the top, the 3rd fret on the 5th string, that's the A string, and then the 2nd fret on the G string. Now before we do that, again, just like in the section with A minor, we're going to have our first finger floating over that string, ready to go down after we play the open string. So we're also going to be using that open G string, the 3rd string. So it's 1st on the 6th, 3rd on the 5th, open 3rd, and then 2nd on the 3rd, just like this. Now when you first play this, you're going to find that you'll do something like this. You'll go one note at a time, one after the other. What we really want to aim for is to try and hold all of them fingers on at the same time to give a bit of harmonic richness to it, have all those notes in our chord ringing together at the same time. Because this is an accompaniment to a song. It's not a melody that we're playing, the main melody is being done by the singer. We're just providing some chords in the background. So you'll probably find that a bit of a challenge to hold those fingers on at first. It can even hurt your hand a little bit. But if it's kind of muscular pain you get in your hand, that's good because you're pushing your muscles beyond what they're used to when you're playing. So if I put that together, the A minor and the F, it should sound like this. Okay, so that's the first section. Now the next half of this is going to use the C chord, the G chord, our friend the F chord, and the D minor chord. Now if you've never done the D minor chord before, you can also find that this is a bit of a tricky one to get the hang of as well. But the good news is that we're not going to be using that 3rd finger. We're going to chuck that one in the bin. But we'll worry about that when we come to it. So onto the C chord. We don't need these 2 first fingers either. We'll take those both off. Just use our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And you're going to play every other string to get the sound of the accompaniment. So you start with the 5th, down to the 3rd, down to the 1st, and then back up again to the 3rd. Every other string from where you started. Okay. Now for the G chord, we don't need to change all those chords over to do that. Sorry, all those fingers over to do that for the chord. We just need to move that 3rd finger up a string like that. And pluck every other string again. The 6th string, the 4th string, the 2nd string, and then back again to the 4th string. So together that'll sound like this. Now onto the F chord. We're going to play exactly the same notes as we did in the first section. The 1st on the 6th string, 3rd on the 5th string, and then the second on the third string. We're not going to play that open second string or open G string. We're just going to go straight to that second fret and then back again to the third fret on the A string, the fifth string. And that'll sound like this. Again, if you're holding all the fingers on, it should sound like that. You can, if you are finding it a bit of a challenge to hold that one down, you can always cheat a little bit and take that finger off until you've got a little bit of strength building up in that. So now the last chord, the D minor, this one here, to get to that and have a nice rich harmonic sound of all the strings ringing together, what it's best to try and do is to try and keep the second finger where it is and then move this first finger across to the E string like that at the bottom, and then we can forget about the third finger because we don't need it anymore. And then we pluck the fourth string, the third string, and then the first string. And we're not going to come back up, we just stop where we are there. So put those two together, the F and the D minor. We've got that section. Now if we go from the C and the G, it should sound like this. And then put the whole thing together. Okay, so that's the left hand taken care of. Now a little word about the use of your plectrum. Now when you're plucking each string, what you'll most likely do is do a downstroke on each string as you're doing it. Just like that. Now you may have noticed when we got to the later section of the song with the C and the G, I wasn't doing completely downstrokes, I was doing this. Down, down, up, down. Okay? Now, eventually, when you get a little bit more advanced in your playing, you'll be wanting to work in down and up strokes in your playing. But for this, I would just work on using down strokes. But if you feel like it's something that you want to have a try at, feel free to try and work that upstroke in on that last note. Just so that can maybe be a little bit of an introduction into using upstrokes as well as downstrokes. Okay, so that was Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like I said at the beginning, it's a really nice song to learn. Sounds great straight away. Lots of people know that song. If you play that for anybody, they'll be, yeah, that's cool, playing something cool on the guitar immediately. And it'll take you a little bit of time to practice it, so go nice and slow with it. There's no need to rush. Just make sure you've got each section down. Don't try and play the whole thing in one go. Just take the A minor chord and the F chord first. And just practice that over and over and over and over again, nice and slowly until you've got it. And then when you feel ready to do that, you can move on to the next section. Don't rush any of it. Make sure you've got one section completely nailed before you go on to the next section. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you sometime soon in the future for another lesson. Thank you very much.